Really interested in becoming a Pinterest virtual assistant, but I do not want to take calls. I don't want to be on calls with clients. I don't want to do sales calls. Is this even a path I can go down? Now, this is an amazing question. Thank you so much for asking. I am going to share two things with you. One, yes, it's absolutely possible. In fact, we have so many grads who go through the program and they're busy moms and the exact same mindset where they're like, I want to do this work. I want to build this business and I know that I can. But on the flip side, I can't commit to like a meeting potentially with a client and I can't show up to my fullest on a sales call because I don't know if my child's going to be screaming in the background. I don't get it right now, but I do get it because I am expecting my first child and I have started to think about like what is this going to look like in the first year, the first 2 years. And I understand that not having to show up on calls can be a massive benefit. And so, like I said, we have grads who go through the program and they're like, I'm actually going to create a business that works with my life. I always suggest doing that. And what they'll do is they don't have monthly touch base calls with clients. Instead, they send their analytics, they send reports, they send Loom videos, and they connect with them that way. And then on the sales call side, instead of jumping on these calls, they will communicate with them via voice notes. So if they have clients who are reaching out to them inside of Instagram, they'll do voice notes back and forth, and it works so well. In fact, we have a grad who is landing $1,200 clients through this method. So yes, it's absolutely possible. The second thing that I would really encourage you is that if your schedule does allow it, if you do have the time, if you are able to commit to it, I would encourage you in the beginning to take a couple of calls. Here's the thing, you only know what you know. And so being able to get on these calls and actually hear directly from the client what they need, maybe what some of their objections are when it comes to Pinterest, is going to be so helpful for you. It's actually going to help you to create content faster if you are choosing to create content on social to find clients. It's going to allow you to be able to kind of get some practice in and know what they may be saying or thinking before the conversation even goes there. It's going to give you a lot of it's going to give you a lot of reps is the best way I can kind of explain it. So being able to be on these sales calls, while yes, they may seem scary, they're really not. It's just person to person, just two people having a conversation. It's you seeing if you can actually help this business with what they want. It's not anything more than that. And I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure and a lot of like weight around sales conversations. And while yes, there are things that need to be said inside of a sales conversation, we teach you all of that inside of the Pinterest VA school. Do not worry, because I understand that once again, you only know what you know. So if you've never had to do this before, you could literally be sitting there being like, what do I even ask? Do not worry. I actually give you a list of questions that you should ask or cover, whether it's on a sales call or it's inside of DMs, sending voice notes. But the more you can have these conversations, it's just going to help you go faster. It's going to help you to be able to also figure out like, is there another service I could be offering? When you can hear it directly from people, it's really powerful. And honestly, it's a game changer. It opens up your eyes to potentially other services you could offer. That's how a lot of our students started offering like VIP days, because they realized that their potential client didn't really want like a full scope of management. They wanted to be able to work with them in a one day a strategy. I mean, they would never have known that if they weren't having conversations. So can you become a Pinterest virtual assistant and never have calls? Absolutely. You absolutely can. Do I think you should have calls to a certain degree? I do, but that's my own personal like experience and preference. And at the end of the day, I truly believe that you should build a business that works with your life, not the other way around. So if right now you're in a phase where you're a new mom, you're a mom to littles, and you are staying home with your children, I don't think you should have calls. No, I do not think that you should put that added pressure on yourself of trying to either find someone to be with your kids if you don't have like reliable daycare or childcare. And I don't think that you should be putting this extra pressure when really the ultimate goal is to create a business that takes the pressure away, that kind of lightens your load overall. So those are just a couple of things to keep in mind. Yes, you can absolutely do it. I do think there's benefits to being in conversation with people, especially when you're new to this. But I want you to know that at the end of the day, when you go through the Pinterest VA school, we teach you And our ultimate goal is always that you are creating a business that works with your life and then your dream life. And so if your life is one where you're like, I don't want to have sales calls, I don't have the time for it, don't do it. There's so many other options. You could even if you're just like maybe not using social to find clients and you're using other ways that we teach you, you can send Loom videos, right? It's so much easier to commit to say, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do a Loom video for 3 to 4 minutes. They can see my face, they can hear from me over a 30-minute call or a 20-minute call. So yes, you can absolutely do that. You, once again, at the end of the day, are going to create a business that works with your life. And ultimately, the way you're going to have the most successful business is when you do just that. When you think about your future self, the type of life you want, and also realistically how much time you have in a day. If you've been sitting on the line being like, okay, I'm so curious about this Pinterest VA space, jump into our free training. Our free training is like the lowest risk you could ever do, but you're going to jump in and I'm going to walk you through how to price yourself, how to find clients, and also how you actually do need to price yourself with the amount of time you have available to work. Because there's so many people who will be like, make $10,000 a month. And like, yeah, 100%. Make as much money as you can, girl, right? But I want to be really realistic with your time. So not only am I going to walk you through how you can price yourself, I'm going to walk you through how you're going to take the amount of time that you have to work, how much you want to make, and then we're going to figure out what you should be charging in this whole market. So I'll go ahead and I've linked the free training for you below. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Jump over to our Instagram. I'll also link it below. It's the 12% Club. And let me know if there's ever anything you want me to talk about in the future when it comes to these videos. I want them to be as beneficial as possible for you. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.